Hello, my babies. How y'all doing? Bon feet to all everybody who celebrate Jean Baptiste Day. We're gonna be celebrating also definitely summer solstice. We had major planet alignments. We got Saturn's in retrograde, Pluto in retrograde. We got all kinds of things going on, babies, and we gonna spill some tea tonight. And to help me, I got brother Wolfram back again, member of the Norse writers writing club out here in Minnesota. And I'll be talking with him tonight about the different traditions, people do during this time of year to celebrate the changing of the seasons for midsummer. Well, good evening, May Mom Moon. How my baby? Give my children's kisses and hugs from their TT. Brother Danny Chin, good evening to you. And he says, hello, everyone. And before we have Brother Wolfram join us in the conversation tonight, I am going to do a collective reading first. The Because we, like I said, we just had the major solstice thing going on, and so to see what the collective I can't even talk tonight. What the collective message is for everyone. Mm. Let's see. First, I'm going to be using my Crow Oracle deck, and then whatever, that will be the theme, and then explain it with the Crow Tarot. Let's see what we got going on. Mama June out in Bermuda says, hi there, beautiful darlings. We got Bermuda in the house, honey. Let's see what we got. Woo-wee! I knew it. Trickery is afoot, y'all. Let's see. Ancestors. What is this trickery? Ooh, 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 ooh. Might as well do all three. Main thing is the trickery, though, is not people. A lot of it for some of you is about your mindset. Amen. But also you getting that new mindset and perspective of whatever that is the foolishness that's going on. But in doing so, you got the opportunities coming in, overflowing, recharge. Let the abundance flow. Remember, you, the bird that's drinking from the cup. Stop letting those people. It's going to be revealed about who's been trying to cipher those energy vampires, is what I'm being told. So make sure you definitely, my babies, like I always talk about on the show, anoint yourself with that lavender and cedarwood at night, lavender and frankincense during the day. Exactly, sister. My girl, my mom says some folks' cars are breaking down due to trying to play with me. Exactly, people. We got Saturn and retrograde fools, okay? Listen, you selfish narcissists, you need to check yourself from now until October. During this time, don't be doing anything stupid and selfish and unjustified against people. Because guess what? With Saturn flipping, Lord Karma, it's instantly being returned. So that's why you want to be blessing as many people as you can. Even if it's the last fucking dollar, guess what? They're going to return it. That's why you got to work on that mindset, people. Like I said, hangman, work on that mindset. Don't let the trickery of your mind or other people or whatever it is that's causing the trickery to cause you from blocking your own self and going into self sabotage. Working on that mindset. Go to the playlist I got here on the YouTube channel, y'all. Okay, I got them broken down. Trust me, I use them all the time. And in doing so, you're going to have chariot, but in a good way. You're going to have that victory moving forward. And like I said, you'll have that abundance. So use these energies, people, to your advantage. Remove all the nasty karmic sludge so you can open and flow. That's why we have the big old bonfires. When a lot of cultures during this time have big bonfires. So take advantage of it. Get your bay leaves. Write 3 things to 7 things, whatever, 5 things, whatever you feel compelled to write. Both positive and negative. On the first part, where it's the negative, anything and everything you want to banish and get rid of. You burn those first. Okay. And then you, all the things that you want to bring to you, whether it be good health, wealth, happiness, a job, career, whatever it is, new home, and then throw those in to bring it to you. Because remember, when you cleanse out, you always got to bring in the positive. You just can't just go cleansing and everything and not do anything, because that just leaves you open and susceptible for more BS. So you way you block it out is by bringing in the positive. Law of reciprocity, babies. You dig? As Brother James would say, and you know who I'm talking about, Mark. Got light. Woo wee! How you doing, Brother Mark
I'm
Wolfram?
doing good. I'm doing good.
And so, how was this beloved solstice this last few days for you?
It's been a bit of an up and down for me. The days before were all right. It's been a lot of reflection on the past and everything, because yesterday we laid a brother of mine down to rest.
My
He
condolences.
passed away a little bit over a month or so ago. Still trying to uh, get as much money for his family as possible right now through their GoFundMe. But we had the funeral and everything yesterday, so it was a bit of a rough day. And with all the heat and everything else, there were a few people that actually succumbed to the heat yesterday, including my
Ooh,
brother. Actually, had passed out from the heat, and is now taking a rest and making sure he's up on his fluids and everything. So
good.
it's been a rough one, because he was real close to my entire family. He basically lived with us for a while him and my brother were going junior high and high school and stuff. And he's godfather to my nephew and niece and uncle to my own kids. So it was a
Mm,
rough one yesterday. But other than that,
my goodness.
it's just trying to bring more joy out from it, and just doing the best to remember him and the person he was, and to try and emulate a lot of the things that he did as a person. He is
That's how
one of
you keep
those
them
people.
alive.
He would be at the bus stop, and someone wouldn't have money to get on the bus. He'd give them his bus fare, and then he'd walk the 5-10 miles home and
Mm,
make sure that they got home. And that was the kind of person he was, and I want to try and emulate that going on in the future, uh, to continue having someone out there like him that keeps bringing that out to him. It's one of those joys for me, because he was Catholic, so it's like when I go in there, it's like the priest made sure to say, I know not everybody here is of the faith, but I hope you guys will be able to be okay and enjoy the funeral service. And I'm just sitting there like, okay, I
don't
enjoy being
worry,
a
I'm
part
not
of it.
gonna slap on fire. Okay, it's all good.
Oh yeah, me and my son made sure to put on our sunscreen and everything before we walked in. But but it it was a good time. We all went out there and were able to talk about some memories and stuff, and uh, it was good getting everybody together. It's just a shame with some of us that it seems that the last couple times we've all gotten together have all been around funerals from
Yeah.
the group that grew up with my brother, and that are all just really close to me. And a couple of them passed away over the last 5 years or so. So it's been sort of a rough time. But
But that's why definitely during this time and everything, it's good to try to like one of the things I teach in grieving sessions is, you know, showing people to build, like I said, a little altar to them, have their picture and some of their favorite things that they liked and stuff, and light up a candle with some lavender and chamomile so you have some good communication, not only, and to talk to them like how you and I are talking to each other and everything. Have those conversations. Still treat them like they're still alive, sitting right in front of you. Someone has a problem with that. Oh well, fuck them. Okay,
yep,
trust me, they hear everything that you're saying to them. Play their favorite music, buy, the women or the men, buy their favorite cologne or perfume, their favorite alcohol. If they smoked, buy their favorite pack of cigarettes, if they get a little something, something, little something, something, whatever.
Yep.
But, it helps with that grieving process. And so that, especially during this time, you're able to really, you know, be able to help with that healing process during this time. And, what are some of the things would you make a part of during this solstice time, to help someone who's going through that? What would you recommend? What would, besides, the bonfires and everything, what were other some of things that someone could do?
Mostly I just tell people remember the kind of person they were. When you're feeling sad and everything about the loss side of it, look more to the happy moments you guys shared together, and the things that you loved about them. Make those more a part of yourself. It
True.
it's it helps with the process of going through it, and then, like you said, it's you know, uh, talk to them. Go visit out their grave, talk to them when you can, and everything. But after a while, you got to also remember that you got to let them rest somewhat as well. So
Exactly, exactly. you know and that's why, in a lot of cultures, like with our Viking ancestry, and in a lot of European ancestry and African ancestry and Native American, they would have a party because they wanted to celebrate the good parts of their life and everything, you know because they knew that they would be partying along with them. Like, you would hear about the Irish all the time. What's the difference between an Irish wake and an Irish wedding? There's one less drunken Irishman.
well,
you know
except when you get the fun ones, where you always hear the stories about where um, they had the wake out at a bar, and the deceased was there for his wake at the bar. They would actually
right.
kidnap the body and carry it out to the bar, and then they would all sit there and drink, and they'd have a drink in front of him.
It's like that Joe Diffie country song, "Prop Me Up,"
Yep.
by the jukebox when I die.
Yep.
Being around the bikers I've been around in my life down home, trust me, I've seen a few of those type of funerals.
Yep. Hey,
Oh,
you got to make
yes,
sure they still have fun even in the afterlife. Now, come on.
oh yeah, oh yeah, dude. One guy, at this one funeral and everything I went to, man, if someone was to dig up his coffin right now, they would be hitting all kinds of pretty party favors and everything. They wanted to make sure he was having fun in the afterlife.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much the same at the funeral we had. It's like there's so much that's down with him down there. So he'll still have plenty of stuff for fun in the future.
Exactly, exactly. Erica, in Puerto Rico, says hi everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. And like, I've said before, thank you for everyone. If it's your first time joining in and watching, please like and subscribe. And also, let me give a shout out to tonight's sponsor. I'm proud to be a part of is the Indigo Psychics. Um, we have all kinds of varieties of spiritual advisors, to help you with, whatever you may be going through, whether you need to know guidance about your business and career, your financial, your relationships. We're all, we're try to be different. We're not about just blowing hot air up your butt like a lot of these, phone lines do. Indigo psychics are going to be able to show you and guide you because they're spiritual teachers and spiritual life coaches as well. you know and like I said, we have a variety to help, whatever your spiritual background is. And then if it's your first time at Indigo Psychics, all first time callers get their first 5 minutes free. So definitely, if you can, check them out, indigopsychics.com. And if you look me up, my extension is the quadruple eights, 8888. Again, I am proud to say our sponsors are Indigo Psychics. Enough said. Shamelessly advertising. Thank you very much. Thank you
Oh,
very much.
Got to get in the shameless promotion. Come on now.
Right? We literally just launched, people. We are brand new and everything, and I'm excited to be a part of it. They, sponsor the show Spiritual Tea Time with Reverend Patience. And we're going to also, too, we have another new show that we're doing, the Desert Medium podcast with my girl Raven Wolf, the Desert Medium out of Arizona. She's also one
Nice.
of our spiritual advisors, and we futurely down the road we plan on bringing other ones because we want to showcase our advisors and everything and to show people what they're about, that they're not just about, like I said, entertaining you and blowing hot air up your butt like some of these phone lines do, telling you whatever you want just to make a buck. We're not about that. you know we are about guiding you where you need to go, whether it's this way or that way, to be that guiding post that you need, especially as a spiritual life coach.
Yep.
So tell me, okay, and for everyone who's in Minnesota, tell everyone what you guys got going on this weekend with
Well,
the club.
we got our midsummer blot ritual that's going to be going on this Saturday. The person who let us use his land for Yule this last year is same one who's letting us use his land again. He enjoys it because he gets to see the rituals and learn more from them. And I always
Awesome.
love that. Plus, he's in the biker community with me. So, I always enjoy it when, uh, we can help one another out at different times. Yeah, we always keep our thing where we're a separate entity from most everybody else, but I enjoy promoting and sponsoring other people that are glad to help promote and sponsor us as well. As much
Amen.
as we can help each other out there, it needs to be done sometimes because there's so much bad publicity on the biker community right now, as well as just on anyone who's a pagan, heathen, and so forth. We all get so much bad publicity and everything else. It's like in a
Exactly.
lot of the readings that I share out with different people when they ask about different books and readings and everything. It's like I got a large collection of stuff, which included stuff from like uh, things we got to deal with in other states, like in Missouri. They got things that they handed out to their police department and everything else that basically puts Norse paganism as uh, they infer that not everybody who's a part of it is a white supremacist, but you got to watch out for all these symbols, and then they mix symbols in there that have nothing to do with white supremacy whatsoever. It's just they end up using a lot of the same symbols we do. Some of them are changed where they'll have like extra little fins on the bottom and everything else. But
I've seen that.
and I'm like, eh, people just got to realize that some people are going to take from different people. They used the Christian faith before, and now they're using Norse pagan faith. It's a sad thing, and I try to stay as far away from anybody who's part of those groups as possible because I deal with the you do your thing, I'm gonna do mine, but at the same point, I just hate when it envelops covering over everybody.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. And that's why I'm so honored to have you on my show and everything to show proof out the people out there who are interested in the Norse tradition of paganism and everything, that the people who are trial and true of the faith are not these white supremacy hating it type of
Yeah.
bandejos, as we say in Spanish more
Yes.
eloquently. And, and see, I've been a part of that. One of the first forms of Wicca was astro for me and everything when I was a teenager growing up. The gentleman I learned from and everything not only taught me the Gardnerian, but he was Swedish, and his grandmother was an old school vulva, and so it run in the family and everything, and so I mean, still to this day, I mean, when I was went through my fluff bunnies phase, I could never get into Theban. I never liked the script. but I was always drawn to the runes. And still to this day, when I script up or carve up any of my candles for ritual, it's always done up in the runes and everything. And I mean, even when like with Ubanda dealing with Eshu and Bumajira, some of the German pagans, Norse traditions haven't been embedded and everything in their sigils. It looks very similar to what you see as, Odin's wheel.
No.
I never say it right. That's why I'm not saying it. You know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
I'll be the first to admit. Me in my traditional Viking, Scandinavian languages, and I have never been. I can barely speak German half the time.
Trust me, I'm pretty much the same. I got books on it to try and learn more and more of the language and everything, and
Mhm.
it's a long learning process sometimes. Because me, I'm the epitome of a Gemini, is how it's always been put by where my birthday is firmly in the center, and they say I
Mhm.
am very much the erratic Gemini. I'll sit there and I'll start reading one book, and then I'll start reading another book, and then I'll start reading another book, and then I might go back to that first book. And it takes forever to read through a book because I'm reading like about 5 or 6 of them at the same time.
Oh yeah, the curse of the ADHD. Yeah,
Yep.
squirrel.
Yep. Shiny.
You feel like the dog from Up.
Yep.
Oh, trust
You,
me.
you just see
Oh, I feel
squirrel or
you.
go shiny.
Yep. Well, that to help with that, to help focus and everything, wearing tiger's eye and hematite would help you. The tiger's eye helps pull your energies to you, and then the hematite helps keep your energies grounded to you. And then another thing of like it's the way I always teach people about the lavender. It's been proven medicinally when you anoint the crown chakra area with the lavender. It gives you mental clarity and focus, and it keeps the anxiety and depression away,
That, that would be very
especially
good.
when you have fragrances added to it. And then, like I said, in the evenings, do the cedarwood because cedarwood helps medicinally when you breathe it in down to the cellular level, remove trauma. And your cells don't know the concept of time, whether it's most recent or from childhood, whatever on the subconscious. Okay, there is no time concept to ourselves. So that's why when certain things trigger you on the subconscious, your body literally relives that moment and is going through that harm and is causing that negative energy buildup, which is hurting your health physically and spiritually. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's why definitely during this time, I take advantage of, especially with all the energies going on and these frequencies of having the solstice and the planetary alignments. You do, like I said, the cedar with the lavender on the 5 points, and then listen to the 528 frequency because 528 frequency helps you heal at the DNA cellular level. And
All
then you
right.
can find all kinds of things, with that embedded and everything. Oh my goodness. So, besides, because I know a lot of, depending on, what culture you're from and everything, I see, people do bonfires and a lot of dancing and, eating of fruits and drinking of wine, Aphrodite and Bacchus doing it, woohoo, having some fun, with some people and everything. What, from the Norse, who, would they be celebrating during this time for the
Uh,
solstice?
for the most part, Suna, who is
Okay.
the sister of Mani. Uh, Suna is the one who carries the sun around, and Mani carries the moon around. And
Okay.
they're the ones that keep them rotating as they have the wolves chasing them endlessly. And that's usually who we end up being the main person that we invoke and give praise to at the midsummer solstices and stuff during the blots. And
Okay.
but of course, you always represent all of the gods in there as well because they're all part of it. But
Right.
mostly for her for keeping enduring warmth and sunlight for as long as we can, because midsummer is always that longest point in the summer where it's the most light, and then after that, it starts days get shorter, going to the end of the
Right.
year. So, and with a lot of the cultures, some of them will have the maypole that they dance around, and they'll wear little wreaths around their head with flowers and adorning them and everything. Just celebrate the warmth and the light and everything else.
Well, and also too, and depending on the pagan culture and everything, it's mostly celebrating because of sun representing the male aspect and everything, the god. The maypole is the phallic symbol, and all the little representing the little spermies
Yep.
swimming around.
Oh
People
yeah.
don't realize what that was meaning. But
Well, it's also basically the time of year for growth and rebirth and everything else with all the plants and everything else. This is the time where all the harvests start growing and everything else because it starts getting warm enough and everything else for everything to start growing until we get into the fall and October period, where then that's the time to start reaping all of the stuff because everything's coming to an end.
yep, exactly. Now, what type of offerings during this time can someone give?
Usually the main ones during this one is just stuff from your abundance. This one usually, like for me, it's going to be offerings of mead and food and stuff because like Yule time, that one it can be either or on that, or you can do the old traditional ones where you actually offer up one of your animals and such, as many of the religions have done in the past. So it's this one is more of one that you just go for with offering of just food and drink.
Okay. Whatever works, man. It all gives energies.
Yep.
It's about where it comes from the heart place as you give it.
Yep.
You know, and people don't realize, the cultures that did give the animal sacrifice, the blood part was the main part that they gave to the gods, and then the meat of the animal was made into food to be served as a plate to the gods and to feed the people.
Yep. Yep.
That's what it
This,
means. When they made it the sacrifice, they were making it sacred. They were not doing it to just to be malicious. And actually, physically and spiritually, it's healthier for you to eat and receive your food in that spiritually way than the mass processed crap that we get because of
yep.
the trauma and negativity. You don't realize the negativity that they put those animals through to process your meats, people. So during this time, don't let it, and then you are a practitioner of animal sacrifice, do not feel ashamed as long as you are doing it in a sanctified, true, and honorable way to the ancestors that's not causing any harm to any adults and everything, and it's done in this sacred way. Then you do you, boo. Okay,
Yep.
do not feel
Yep.
ashamed. That's
Yep.
because there's
Because
still
you,
too
you
much of that going on. you know
Yep. Yeah, you
because
just do the sacrifice on one day, and then that night you prepare it and everything else, and then the next day you all feast on the animal that you had the night before. It's no different than slaughterhouses doing theirs, except it's a little bit better than going up behind them with a little gun that has a little metal dart coming out that punches into their skull and then comes out.
right, you know, poor things. Oh, Joe Little Wolf pops on here and he says, "Hi, Wolfram. Sounds interesting. Excited for Saturday to meet y'all."
Yep. Hey,
Yay!
Joe.
And Jaguar Brujas says, "Peace and blessings, everybody. Gratitude. Thank you for joining us tonight." And like we were saying before, all those who are joining in, we are sponsored by Indigo Psychics, which I am proud to be a part of. Down in the description, you can find the link and everything to indigopsychics.com to book a session. If you don't want me, trust me, we got several, all different types of spiritual advisors, spiritual life coaches, and spiritual teachers. We're not just about throwing cards, y'all. Okay. Many times most folks that get teachings with me, I don't even touch the cards because majority of the time I'm teaching and everything, because a teaching session and a reading session are all the same price. But if you're a first time caller at Indigo Psychics, no matter who you are, no matter which advisor that you get for the first time, you get your first 5 minutes free. Again, thank you for being our sponsor tonight, Indigo Psychics. Whoop, whoop. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Yes, paid sponsorship. Blah, blah, blah. Hey, we got to do what we got to do, baby.
Yep.
So, besides when you guys do your rituals and everything, do you guys believe to be able to make it a family affair?
Yep. Yep. It's most of the members have family and children and everything else, and they're always invited. You know, during Yule, was sort of the well. When if you want to, you can take your kids out around this time. If you don't know if they can handle this portion of it, or but during the feast and everything else, it's always very much family friendly. And with this one, the ritual and everything else will be all together in one day, and very family friendly. Like we're gonna be grilling the food and everything else that day, having hamburgers, brats, hot dogs. We're gonna have soda and water for those who want that. We'll have some adult stuff for the adults as well. So we try to keep it very family friendly as far as that, and just out in the community. It's a chance for us to get out and show the ritualistic aspect of the club, as well as the other days where like other events we have, where we have events remembering members that have passed away, like we will later on. We have an event and run that's actually for that. Someone else is doing the run. We're just sponsoring it, and then we have an event the day before their run uh, to raise money for the family and everything, to still help with costs. And we've told the family if they don't want the money, donate it to a charity that their son would have wanted it donated to. And that's our main purpose behind it, is we want to help wherever we can on things. And it's mostly to just get people to understand that our faith is not one that you should have animosity towards or worry about. We're the same as most everybody else. We're very family oriented, and we just like doing stuff for our community as well. That's one
Amen.
of our main things, is to promote and show people that our faith is not one to be feared, like they see in all the
Exactly.
shows.
It was always very communal because that's the way of the cultures and everything. Because especially having to come together so they could survive those nasty old harsh old winters and everything,
Yep.
you know. That's why they had the big giant Yule logs at the long, and everyone was eating communally, in the long house and stuff. Definitely. Um, could you suggest for for family friendly things you can incorporate for your kids who want to participate during this time of year, summer solstice to celebrate? What are some kid friendly ways, if you have a child that's interested in
You
celebrating?
know, just find some a lot of the different organizations and stuff will have prepared rituals and stuff that you can look up and download and everything else, that you can go through if that's what you want to do. Bonfires, just showing your kids ways to do offerings of picking out a small little log or something out there that you can set up as a mini altar, and you go out there and you give your praise to the gods and everything, and you put out a plate with the offering on it, and a little cup and everything else, and just have a bonfire and celebration, and welcome the gods and goddesses to be there with you and your family as you guys are there, having fun, talking, and doing whatever. You just bring it out and show them that it's basically like one of the traditions that's still kept around for Christmas is putting out a plate of cookies and milk. It's the same thing as back during Yule, putting out an offering to the gods, of a plate of something for them to eat and something for them to drink as an offering for, you know, a lighter winter that, you know, they will have their enough food and everything else to make it through, and that when the spring comes, their crops will be able to bloom.
Yep. Exactly.
Uh,
Exactly. Otherwise you have mean old demon like creatures Krampus coming.
yep,
Oh no!
yep. The later ones where Krampus came out in the
Trust
same
me,
area.
there are some children that could use the Krampus without school. But hey, Santa Claus is based on Odin. Okay, so
Yep,
you can have somebody dress up as Odin with the eye patch and everything. Well, with who
yep.
I can't
There's
even say their names
the
today.
Great Hunt.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, definitely. And that's what the holidays are supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about friends and family and coming together, in celebration of life and being thankful for everything that you've been through. People don't realize during this time and everything that it's very, very, very strong energies going on. People, everyone always thinks like the veil is very thin. Yes, we know during Halloween, and everyone has in the cultures has their but they don't realize that during this time between the time we start around Beltane to the time that we come to here, the veil is very thin as well.
Yep.
And that's why I'm always telling people, don't let the energies use you. Use the energies to your benefit. That's why it's important to pay attention to what's going on. So if certain things energetically are doing a certain way, then you do your rituals or whatever according to how those energies are going to benefit you. So you're not that little hamster in the wheel. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? And that's why during this time, heal those relationships, come together as family, you know, celebration, not just about, especially those. I understand Father's Day we just had because Father's Day and summer solstice is very close and it's majority of cultures celebrating the male aspect.
Yep.
This is a great time to working on healing those toxic father relationships that either presently physically that you have now or from the past. you know Even though that person has passed on, you can still work on healing that inner child you
Right.
know
Yep.
um
And my joy was my wedding just a couple weekends
yes,
ago.
congratulations, many
Yep.
blessings,
We were able to
yay.
do an old Norse styled hand fasting wedding and everything. And it was fun because a lot of the people who were there out as guests and everything, uh, most of them were not Norse of the Norse faith. So it was fun. A lot of them were sitting there like, wow, that was pretty cool. That was sort of interesting. Ah,
Right,
I really enjoyed that. And I'm like, yes. Exactly.
exactly.
You see it. It's not much different than any other normal wedding or hand fasting that can be done through any other tradition, because all the hand fasting traditions are very similar. It's
Yes,
a
yes, I
difference
can
of,
vouch to do that, and everything. I've been doing hand fastings and weddings for over 20 years, and yes, and because I've always studied on different cultures and how they, especially sociology, and of learning how they do things, their daily lives, especially dealing with wedding rich and courting rituals, and so yeah, there. And like I said, you say tomato, I say tomato.
yep.
You are right. They're very, very similar and everything. I mean, when Shane and I got married, and my beloved husband, my big daddy, we went down to New Orleans, and the um, pastor was able to incorporate and do a hand fasting part for us and everything. And so, even in the old, churches, they carried that over from the traditional pagan way and
Yep.
everything. You know, hold on, let me take a sip.
Oh, yep. Go
Got
ahead.
cotton mouth. Yes, I'm a proud child of Mother Nature. We got to quench the cotton mouth. Hold on, give me a second. Hey, ain't no shame to my game, honey.
And absolutely not.
Mother Earth grows it, I smokes it. Okay? Ain't
Yep.
nothing wrong with that baby. But definitely, with everything that's been going on, I'm really proud, to see the work that you guys have been doing. And like I said, it's an honor to have you, on the show, being able to talk about and, you know, because that's what we do is able to plant that seed to encourage people to want to reach out and, and learn the real truth about things, and because there's so much BS information, and like we said, talking about the stupid white supremacy groups, perverting a lot of things for a lot of people. Same with other types of groups perverting a lot of things for other people, and that's why we, come here to be able to, educate the folk. This is what's really. Do your research before you
Yep.
judge. You know, walk a mile in the shoes before you can complain. That your
Yep.
feet are aching. You know.
And me, I just always feel bad because I look at it when the symbols get misused. I look at them when they're saying, well, these are all interpreted with the hate groups. I'm like, well, yes, but there were hate groups back in the day that used the cross, and they used that in a very bad way as a bad symbol, burning crosses out in your yards and everything. You know,
Exactly.
my children's ancestors had to deal with that a lot. So I'm like, we don't hate the cross. People don't hate the cross and still consider that a bad symbol. It's
Mhm.
people have to overlook the misuse of symbols. You know,
Exactly.
hate
Oh,
groups are going to take things and they're going to misuse them.
that's like the swastika being perverted by the Nazis and everything, and which is it's the ancient Hindu, symbol and everything. Same, like with the Star of David, that originally started actually in Hindu, and then like the Pinnacle, representing the Holy Mother, but they perverted it, and and so now everyone automatically, no matter if you have it up or down, they're thinking, "Oh, you're an evil Satanist." No, it has nothing to do with that. You
Oh yeah,
butthead, you know. And so that's why we got to educate, do what we can, because people don't realize. Yes, what if it's on the internet? People, do your research still. You still have to do your hard physical part because there's a lot of BS out there.
oh yeah, and
That's
you
why.
still
Well,
find a lot of these symbols in the Native American shamanistic stuff, like the swastika. You'll find that in native blankets and stuff. They found old native blankets that had it on there. It's the wheel for the
mhm,
year, you know,
yeah,
and people just
because
misappropriate it, and then people forget what it was actually meant to be, and they just try to change it. And I always
oh,
hate
I
that.
know. Oh yeah. Oh, I know. And it's because people don't realize symbols like that actually, um, each corner represents a placement of the Big Dipper at the time of each changing of the season, whether it be at the equinox or the solstices and
Yep.
stuff. And that's how they came up with that because they, all right, they'll, and a lot of cultures have, the ancestors realize, oh, we noticed something, you know, people are, we're more connected and more common than you realize you need to get credit for, but still celebrate the differences. That's what makes it beauty. you know
Yep.
it's, it's- we are yet same but yet unique, and so we need to celebrate all of it. And that's what this time is about, coming together, about being the universal family,
Yep.
respecting one of each other, loving your fellow man, your fellow woman, fellow child, you know unconditionally, you know and if more people actually, and talking from my experience and everything, working, in customer service, this pandemic sadly has not brought out the good in people, child.
Yep.
you
No,
know
I've
and
seen a lot of bad from the pandemic.
and which breaks my heart, because there's a reason why the universe literally sat us all down like a bunch of naughty children. They were trying to tell you, you need to go working within y'all, but you're so, people as a whole, or the collective is so used to externally chasing after everything to find their love, find their happiness, not realizing it comes from within. you know because people were walking magnets. People get frustrated with me, like when they want relation. Oh, when's my love? What do I expect for love? No, I'm not going to give you that type of reading. That's telling me right now you're already in that self-sabotaging mindset. You are so desperate for love and everything. You're just keep on chasing it, and you're going to settle for anything because you can't stand yourself, because you don't love yourself. You want that soulmate, you want that, passion, you want that unconditional love, and everything. Yeah, start with self. And if and half the folk look in the mirror, they can't even say they like themselves, let alone say, I genuinely love myself. Because they've been told to say that. Oh, you're being conceited. No, genuine love for yourself is not being conceited, because you have to. Because that's the only way that you check yourself, to make yourself realize, okay, I got to do work. Part of self love is your self care. And because if you don't take care of yourself, how can you love and take care of others? You got to take that time for yourself. You got to recharge. That's what that, collective reading was saying. Okay. Get out of the trickery of your mind and work on self. Easiest way to do sleep meditation. Even the Dalai Lama says the best form of meditation is sleep,
Yep.
because all your self-sabotaging mindsets or triggers are turned off, and you're using the straight source to the subconscious. And the subconscious has been medically proven, not scientifically, people, not just spiritually, more powerful than the waking mind. Like it's 30,000% times over easy. Okay. And the easiest
Yep.
ways, when you take a nap or your regular sleep, go into like some of the subliminal lists I got on the playlist at the YouTube channel here, babies. Okay.
Oh,
You
I
just
use
put
your
it on where,
playlist.
yep, you just put them on where you just barely hear it and go to sleep. And you got to make it a part of your daily habit, because of all the crap we had, especially with everything going on in the world, the collective negative energy going on. That's why it's so important to make it a part of your daily habit, to keep you cleansed and protected. We can do all the external work, because that's why I always find during these times and everything, with people are, oh, but I did this spell and I did this ritual, why everything's well, the reason why it's not manifesting is because you're in the mindset and working, the self-sabotaging mindset, of that subconscious that you're refusing to work on, you know.
Yep.
And that's why we said, summer solstice, babies, this time, energetically, this is the time to be working on getting rid of that karmic sludge, removing everything that does not serve your highest good, whether it be person, place, or thing. One of my favorite things as a suggestion, um, you can apply it no matter what your spiritual, because one of the things I teach is universal folk magic, because the tools are the same no matter where you are. And so, um, make yourself up a black walnut spiritual bath. I take at least 9 walnuts, put it in a pot, nice big soup pot where you have at least a gallon of water, and you boil it for 3 hours easy. You might have to add more water through the process, but you want it as dark, as black as my shirt. Take the nuts out, and during the last 15 minutes of your boiling time, start, if you got a bathtub, start the bathtub. Okay.
Mhm.
And then you're going to dump that in to the bathtub with at least 2 cups of Epsom salt, and add some lavender, and then dunk yourself in there. Sit there for a good 20 minutes, and then dunk yourself 9 times, thinking of everything, person, place, thing, whatever it may be, does not serve my highest good, is being cut and severed. Okay. And then allow it to draw out and everything. Don't get out of the water. Don't get out of the bathtub until all the water's out. You will literally feel the negative energy just being from the head down to your toes, being pulled out and going down the drain. Then get out and air dry. And I usually, after that, spray myself down with some Florida water head to toe, and then put the lavender on the 5 points. Take advantage of this time, people. Like I've said, use these energies to your advantage. Don't let the energies use you. All right. And
Yep.
anybody who, is being lazy, I don't want to hear it. Okay. Because if I can self discipline myself and work on things and get my life right and get them blessings in, you can do it too. Your life is called the great work for a reason, people. You use these times not only in celebration of being with your family, but also to work on you. Like you said, you got to work. Hey, man, get that new perspective. So you got that, self discipline going, because that's the main key. Remember, to my fans that watch all the time know, in the beginning of the year, I said 2022 in the collective reading was a year that we need to be working on this self care. So this is energetically right now, work on that.
Yep.
Okay. Like I said, take 5 of bay leaves. All right. 3 to 5, 3 to 7, however many you want to do, of everything negative you want to get rid of, burn those first in your bonfire, then take the same amount of equal positive things you want to bring in your life and burn it in the bonfire. That's one of my favorite things. And that's easy and it's cheap to find. You can find Bailey's at the Dollar Tree. Okay. You can find them 99 cent freaking at a Walmart in the spice section. I'm serious. It's something easy we can do. Whew, goodness gracious. Joe Little Wolf says, Wolfram, curious, how do you feel about the Norse church that was opened up in Minnesota not long ago?
Um, I was not very thrilled with that idea. I was actually on the side of the proponents against it. It was one of the things why I had tried to put on our shield wall run last year, but unfortunately, the day of the event, one of the members of our club had died tragically in a motorcycle accident. So we ended up not being able to have it. But it is an event that I plan on trying to put on again next year. And the main purpose behind that is that, yeah, we can't support anything that is a non-inclusive church. When they're saying that the only people who can come there are people who are white and have North Scandinavian heritage is the only people who can be members of that church or come to that church, that's something I can't support. It's something that
Exactly.
I'll be completely against and be one of the main proponents out there saying, no, your church does not belong.
Child, I feel you, I feel you. Because trust me, I bet you my happy little ass is walking there. Even though I am of the mixture I am, I looked up my European ancestry, and about 80% of it is some kind of Viking ancestry and where it's located and everything. Anyone who has Irish from Dublin has at least 3% Danish or 3% Swede in them because
Yep.
of being that for the Irish. Boom. Okay. I got the Scottish. Where I my family's from in Scotland was of the Danes. So that's where I got the Danish in me coming in. And then you got all the different go all the way into the Rus, and it's like,
And the
shoot,
Ruth
my French
being
is Norman.
Norse
My
that
French
we
is
have
Norman.
out.
Exactly.
The Ruth
Exactly. It's
were
like
Ruth Vikings. They
it,
were Norse warriors that were no longer under service to anybody, usually some by good and some by bad. Some people just went over there and then they ended up becoming the Rus Viking people and then later just the Rus people. And then that area became Russia. So,
exactly.
it's how everybody is interconnected. And my look on it with church like that is Odin is called the All Father, not the Norse Father. He's the All Father, meaning of all people.
Exactly.
Whoever wants to come to him and give their respect and praise to him, he's welcoming. So
Exactly.
it does not matter the color of your skin or where you're from. You
That's
can
what
meet
I always
everybody.
tell people when it comes, when people start, oh, you're no, appropriating is taking a little bit of what you want out of something and not properly showing the proper respect and ritual according to that culture and that god or goddess. Okay. As long as you're showing the proper honor and respect and giving what you need to give, then you are in the right. Your relationship with that god or goddess is your business. Fuck what people say. Okay. Oh, and Joe Little Wolf says exactly. Odin is the All Father, not the Son Father.
Exactly.
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 Exactly. You know. Exactly. But dude, man, we got 5 minutes. Real quick again, let everyone know if for the people in the Minnesota area, because we got several people locally up by me and everything that watch all the time that could be interested in about Saturday's
Yep.
Midsummer Block.
It is the Norse Riders annual Midsummer Blot. It is going to be in Stevens, I believe it's Stevens, Minnesota. You'll be able to find out for sure if you look up Norse Riders Berserker Longship. Minnesota on Facebook, or you look me up under Wolfram. It's posted all over. It's also in a lot of the Midwest and Minnesota pagan pages and stuff. We have our promotion up for it. It is going to be this Saturday. It's going to start out with the ritual, and then afterwards we are going to have food and beverage for everybody that's there, and just camaraderie, people hanging out, getting to know one another, talking, the way it should be. The community aspect of it all is the main thing. It promotes our club in a way, and it helps promote people from the other clubs that are there as well, because they're there. They'll get to be able to talk to people and stuff. But the main thing is just forming that community bond of all of us realizing that this religion is not for just one specific person or type of people. It's for all of us. If you are attracted to the Norse gods, then come learn. There's people around who are more than happy, like myself, who I will give as much information as I can. It's like one of the things is I have 100 or several hundred books on my Google Drive, and I share them with people when they're sent my way to talk to me and everything. Like one, I just added him onto it a little bit ago, and it's where they can download the books themselves, put copies of it onto their own computers and stuff, and keep those books themselves and learn. I have books from all different types of Norse faith and everything else. Plus I have stuff from other pagan religions on there as well. Hey, I don't discriminate. I had a long path on my way.
It's good to be well learned. Oh, and Joe Little says it's Stewart, Minnesota.
Stewart, Minnesota. There it is. So, yeah.
So if you guys can make it out this weekend, this Saturday to Stewart, Minnesota, what is it? $10 donation.
Yep.
Family, oriented, summer block ritual, and then going to be some throwdown barbecue afterwards. A
Yep.
little something for them, and then probably I don't think they would mind if you brought your own bottle, anyways.
Yep.
Help share with everybody.
Oh yeah. If you wanna
Especially if you got
bring
the mead
something
and the
to
ale.
donate, praise bang. You want to bring soda, you want to bring beer, you want to bring water, you want to bring extra food to throw on the grill for people, by all means. We take donations of any kind to come in, because for us it's a chance to get everybody and know everybody, and it's not like we, even when we did our Yule one, that we didn't make even a dime off of it. We spent hundreds on it, and didn't make much of anything back and everything else. And if we do, it'll probably end up getting donated somewhere. So
Because that's why you guys are doing it. It was mostly, for the community. And you're doing, because that's one thing I love about you guys. You guys have a true charitable heart, man. Because as the gods, people remember, okay, law of reciprocity is not only a part of a lot of spiritual beliefs, but it actually it's scientific law. The more you bless others, the more you're going to be blessed by the ancestors and the gods. Okay.
Yep.
That's why you never see me being jealous of anybody. That's why I'm going to always bless them, because the more I bless them, especially if they're achieving something I want to achieve in my life, that just reminds me they can do it. I can do it too, baby. That just focus more. That's all it reminds me, and that's why I love what you guys have been doing. Again, everyone, thanks for tuning in tonight. I'm honored to have you on the show. Many blessings to you and your family. My condolences about your fallen brother, and many blessings, especially from the goddess Freya, on you and the new home. Meow meows. Sorry, I don't have a kitty to give you.
Oh yeah. I like kitties, but I can't have one in the house. Unfortunately, my son-in-law is highly allergic.
Hey, it happens, man.
But hey, I got my dog.
Right? Again, thank you again for tuning in tonight. Good night, everyone.